Hi, my name is Smriti. I am a part of the Chaos Engineering module at Harness. You will learn how to execute the Pod API status code Chaos experiment and see the results of Chaos in action. As the name suggests, the Pod API status code changes the response status code. This is achieved by starting the proxy server and redirecting the traffic to this proxy server. When Chaos is in action and when you try to access a website or from the terminal, you will see that the status code that you specified in your tunables does not match with the actual status code. Ensure that you have the prerequisites fulfilled and you have the appropriate permissions to create, edit, and execute a chaos experiment. You can contact your project admin or project settings for the appropriate roles or permissions. Log into your Harness account or sign up and navigate to the Chaos Engineering module. Click on Chaos Experiments and create a new experiment. Click New Experiment, provide a name, select the Kubernetes infrastructure. If you're a new user, you may have to create an environment first and then an infrastructure, but I've previously created my environment, hence I'm selecting the same. Click Next. Now select the infrastructure that you created previously. Click Apply. Click Next, and let's start with a blank canvas and search for Pod API status code. Select the experiment and specify the tunables. Namespace refers to the location where the application is housed, and name refers to the microservice that is being targeted. Go to the tune fault modal and enter the values required. For example, provide the status code, the target service port as 8080, and the path filter. You can get these path filters from your application based on the API it calls. Provide the destination ports as 80 and the pod affected percentage is 100. Now let us go to the probes modal. You can select or add a new probe. I have created probes earlier and will use the same probes for this experiment. We will use two resilience probes, both HTTP probes, add to fault, and another probe, add to fault, which is again in on chaos mode. Apply the changes and save the experiment. Click Run to execute the experiment. You can refer to the logs to see when the chaos injection is in action. Let us exit into the front-end pod and execute the curl command inside the pod. Execute the curl command within the front-end pod. See that when chaos is in action, the status code changes to 404. Let us try to validate this from the URL as well. You see that when chaos is in action, the status code was 404. I have specified the response body as test in the tunables section of the fault, which is why the text test is being displayed when the chaos is in action. Once chaos completes execution, let us try to see the status code of the URL. You can see that the status code is now 200 since chaos has completed execution. To know more about the tunables and how you can execute it with your application, go to the official Harness Chaos Engineering documentation, whose link is provided in the description. Thank you.